So we're all in? Yes, I can see you guys being really focused on that. Awesome. Improve your business. Thank you, Alicia. Very good. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to start off today by asking you guys a question. Have you heard of the Amazing Service Guy? Has anybody heard of the Amazing Service Guy? His name is Kevin Sturtz. You may have heard of him. You may not have heard of him, but I quite like some of his stuff. And if you haven't heard from him, he's famous for helping businesses to increase revenue and profits by delivering amazing service. And I think this is one of his best quotes. The easiest way to grow your business is to keep your current customers happy. Just let that sink in for a sec. The easiest way to grow your business is to keep your current customers happy. Interesting concept, right? And this guy makes a living actually teaching these skills around big businesses, particularly in the US. So today, we're looking at how to power your school's growth through member retention. And we know that keeping our members happy keeps them training longer. People who are unhappy don't tend to train with us for very long, and they tend to drop out reasonably quickly. But I think sometimes we can get so focused on recruitment. How many new members have you got? What have you got success from for lead generation? Did you convert those trials who came in? All of those questions that relate to recruitment can take our attention and absorb so much of our attention that sometimes we can forget about retention and how much this is really important for our businesses to help our businesses to grow. So I think everybody here knows me. So I'm Danielle Drew, and what we're going to do over the next 15 minutes is dive into 3 keys that are going to help us to keep our members happy in our martial arts or dance studios so that we can actually grow our businesses. So being real focused today on retention systems and tools. Now those 3 keys are connecting, curriculum, and communication. And you guys probably already know these 3 elements pretty well already. However, what you may not know is that there's this really powerful tool that is going to help you to supercharge those 3 and really boost your members' retention. And that powerful tool that's going to supercharge your retention is how you actually deliver the curriculum, the content, and the communication with your members. But before we jump into this tool, I want to do a little test with you guys. So you can either use hi Tom, you can either use the emojis or you can just use good old fashioned thumbs up or thumbs down. I want you to answer a couple of questions for me. Give me a thumbs up if you have an online account to a streaming service like Netflix or Disney. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, beautiful. What about a online banking? How many people use online banking? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Awesome, everybody, fantastic. What about social media like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Tinder, that kind of thing? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Beautiful. Okay, so think about accessing these particular platforms. You've got 2 ways that you can access your online banking, socials, entertainment. And those 2 ways are through websites and through apps. And those 3 platforms are things we're all going to use pretty regularly. So it's going to be something we're going to be wanting to get into quite often. So I want you to think about the steps that are involved in accessing via a website. First thing you have to do is you have to find the website for starters. That's step 1. Then you have to type in the search engine what you're looking for. That's step 2. And then the third thing that you have to do is you have to find the right site out of all the ones that pop up on Google. So that's step 3. Then you have to remember what your login and your password is. That's step 4. And then in a lot of cases, you've got to have 2-factor authentication, which is step 5. Hi, Anne. Good to see you. So there are 5 steps involved to logging into an online service through a website. At least a minimum of 3 and often 5. So even if you have that website bookmarked, then you still have to have at least 3 steps. And it might not seem much, but in today's world where everybody's so consumed with fast-paced actions, that can be a real barrier to your martial arts or your dance school students being able to access information about your school. And it's what we call in a sales concept friction. There's something between the member and where they want to be. Most successful businesses will actually try and reduce that friction by using an app instead. So when you think about it, if you pick up your phone and you look, most people have got apps, right? And it takes one tap to get into the app. So one tap versus 5 different actions, app to website. Everyone with me so far? Give me a thumbs up. Yep, beautiful. Okay. One of my favorite Tony Robbins quotes is, do not create the innovative idea. Model it from somebody who is already successful. Now, would you agree that Netflix, banking, social media platforms, are they pretty successful businesses? Who would like shares in any or all of those businesses? Yeah, all of us, right? Because they're pretty successful. So they're good businesses for us to model in the martial arts. Now, in today's world, just make sure I'm sharing my screen here so you can see that. Okay, in today's world, technology is not just a bonus, something we could probably get to and it might help our businesses. It's actually a basic need for any martial arts business owner. If you want to stay relevant and grow and truly connect with your students, then we have to be where our students already are and where they're already paying attention. And guess where that is? It's on here, on our phones. That's where everybody spends their time. So, understanding that, the most powerful way to get through to your members easily and keep them in your schools longer is through a members app. Now, if you're not using a members app in your school, after today, you're going to know why it's so important and what to look for in a members app. If you are using a members app, congratulations, because you guys are already ahead of the curve. And by the end of our session today, in the next 10-15 minutes, you're going to know if you're maximizing your members' retention by using 7 critical app features. So who is ready to get going? Everybody give me a, yep, we're ready to get going. Why is my hand up in the air there? Don't know. Hi, Natasha, good to see you. That'll go away in a little while. Fantastic. All right. Glad Natasha's here actually, because she's a bit of a guru at this area. All right, first up, let's make sure we've got a clear picture on the importance to our business of actually using an app, whether you're doing martial arts or you're doing dance. An app is critical. And remember, we're modeling what the really successful businesses do. Now, if your messages to your members are not where your members are looking, then it may as well not exist. But students and their parents are constantly checking their phones. So without an app, we're missing chances to easily connect and engage with our members. And remember, connection is one of the 3 powerful tools for keeping members in our schools. The other thing is modern consumers, people in today's consuming environment, they have certain expectations about access to things quickly. We use apps to manage our banking, our food, our fitness, and even our pets' grooming. And martial arts and dance is no different. If our schools don't have apps, they look outdated, even if the classes that we're teaching are amazing. Picture this. You're a member and you've walked into the martial arts school or the dance school for the first time, and you see a team member picking up one of those things there on the screen and answering it. You'll be like, what the heck is that? What century are we in? And your expectations about the professionalism of that business, intentional or not, can be lowered. Consumers subconsciously compare their experiences with us in our academies to their experiences with everything else that they buy and use. And people are lazy, not because they're lazy intrinsically, but because they have so much competition for their time and energy, they want to take the fastest route to get information. The 1900s call, they want their phone back, says Jared. Yes. For those people who didn't know what that was a phone. The next important thing to understand about using an app is the fact that it helps to create habits, and habits create connection, another C that we're looking at as a key retention tool. If a member's constantly opening an app, it's keeping their martial arts top of mind. And if they can easily tap into the app to check their schedules, log their attendance, or view their progress, it's building this habitual connection, hear that word again, connection with your brand. That habit leads to more retention. And the next one also ties into habits. This is a one that I'm not sure a lot of people will recognize. These habits of connecting through an app can turn those people who are potentially on their way out the door, what I'd call a passive member instead of an active member. They're passive, they're not really engaging, they're not doing a lot, they're missing classes, they missed a grading, whatever it might be. Habits of checking on an app can help turn that student into an active student because of the communication and the connection that they're getting. So those dropouts and quits that often happen in our schools, usually they're not because the people don't love our training. It's because they get distracted by some sort of disruption in their life, or they forget how great it is to be there. And basically, what that means is they're falling out of touch with us. So, apps help to reconnect our members to our environment and to our culture. They can help to reactivate members where they are looking, which is on their phones. I hope you're kind of getting the impression now that the app is super important. Just in case you haven't, the final part, the reason that I want to share with you that an app is really important in your school is because it anchors the experience of your training beyond the map. Now, guys, we all know that the art that we teach just doesn't happen in the class. And the app helps us to extend that journey for the student. They can see what their goals are, what their next belt is. They can establish and reinforce their identity as a student. Now, I've got a little story I want to share with you about this. So, I know somebody who has been training in a school, and we talk quite a bit. And this particular friend of mine who's training is training in a school which is a fantastic school, and they love training there. But they actually have no clue what the next belt color is when they start. So they know they started on a white belt, but they don't know what color comes next. So this person is quite disassociated from the school because they don't know what their progress and their journey is looking at. So having an app would mean that person could log in and see what their next step was, which would really help that student stay in the school. Okay, so the bottom line I really want to reinforce before I get into those 7 features that you must have in an app is that a student app is not something nice to have. It's what I think of it being like the glue, the modern glue between your physical school and your students' digital world. It's what connects the two together. And without it, you're fighting for retention and growth in your business pretty much with one or both hands tied behind your back. So we know that an app is essential for member retention and for running a successful business. And hopefully I've hammered that point home to you now. But we also need to know how to use it to achieve the goals of retention and growth and what to look for in an app. So as I said earlier, there are 7 essential features that you should be using with an app for your business. Now the EFC app has all of these features and much more. So I'm going to use the images of our app to illustrate how these 7 features work for you. So the first feature is, and probably one of the most important, is a member's journal. For my first black belt grading, I had to keep a journal all the way through brown belt, which took me a very long time. And I had to journal everything that I did. It's actually a tattered old notebook now. Having the journal digitally on the app is really powerful because not only does it help the member to easily write entries about their progress and their journey, which is powerful within itself, but the magic happens when you can respond in the app by liking and commenting on those journal entries. That creates real connection with the member. And if your app also allows you to award badges to your students, like ours does, this is another powerful way to help motivate and inspire members. And this works whether or not you have a grading system in place. Second key feature to look for in an app is the bookings function. So your app should work as a calendar. It should show the classes that the member can attend, the classes that they have attended, the ones they've booked in for, and any changes that are going to happen in your schedule, like gradings when they're on and classes have been cancelled, or whether training's on or not during the school holidays. You know, it doesn't matter if you write it on a flyer and hand it to the students, whether you've got it on a notice board, whether you've tattooed it on their foreheads. There will always be somebody who forgets or doesn't get the information. So having it on an app gives the members a place to go and look. Instead of trying to contact you, they can go, okay, it's on my app. So this is where a good app really helps with those communication challenges with your members. And bonus points if your app, like the EFC one, allows your members to easily book and pay for events like parents' nights out, pizza parties, that kind of thing. If a student can book easily, it really increases members' attendance at events. And if a person's attending, they're making progress. And if they're making progress, that equals retention. Third feature to look for, and this is what we call in EFC the observations feature. Now, this is a super cool feature which has been incredibly popular and a real asset to engagement, particularly with those drop and run parents. You know, the ones that kind of scream up to the front door, fling open the passenger side, boot their kid out, shut the door and scream back again. And you don't see them until it's time to pick them up. Those drop and run parents, they're never in the school, so you can't show them the value of your training because they're not there to watch it. What you can do using an app and an observations function is send videos and photos from the current class. So it's really timely, straight to the app on the parents' phones. And then staff and members can post a message or like and comment on those photos and videos. So you could do something like send the photo or the video and say, this is the teamwork drill we did today. Look at that big smile on Sally's face. She's doing so great with her confidence. What a great way to connect with that parent who's just dropped and run. It's basically a controlled social feed, which is focused on your business and keeping your members in your space without the distractions that you find in Facebook. And these observations also allow two-way communication and helps parents to really see the value of your training, even if they're not in the school, whether you want them there or not. Number 4, assessment. Now, this option is really important. It lets the members see what the programs are that they're currently enrolled in and their grades. And they can also see their progress for themselves. And they can see things like curriculum. Remember, curriculum was one of the big C's. They can see what curriculum they should be studying, what katas or pumses or basics or drills or patterns or dances that they should be learning. Again, this is about making it easy for members to train and stay. Another friend of mine who is training in a different style is coming up to a grading fairly soon, and he has got to learn one of the patterns for his grading, and he doesn't know what it is that he's required to learn. So he's got a lot of stress and anxiety. He knows his first test is coming up, but he doesn't know what he's being tested on. Now, I'll tell you, I know this friend is on his way out the door because he feels really uncomfortable about looking stupid. And remember, 2 reasons that adults don't start martial arts in particular: fear of looking stupid and fear of getting hurt. He's started, but he's on his way out the door because he feels like he's going to look stupid. This is about making it easier for your members to train and stay. If they know what they should be learning and what the next step of the journey looks like, they can become part of your school and connected much more quickly. And that period where they feel out of place and confused can be managed much better. To help with all the different learning styles of people in the world, make sure your app allows multiple types of media, things like videos and images and PDF formats. Again, the EFC app includes all those media formats for you. Number 5, this one is huge, huge from a business perspective. Your app should allow you to create your own custom pages for things like your members manual. So there's no need to print and bind it and see it getting dog-eared and left in the foyer and out in the rain in the car park. Things like your frequently asked questions or terms of membership, whatever your cancellation policy might be. Having all of this information available on the app really helps to keep your members connected with your school. Things like how to tie a belt, why we bow when we go onto the mats, where to store your shoes. And the other thing is that you can put on there, if it's something that you want to do in your business, easy links to your social pages. And the one that I think is the game changer for martial arts and dance businesses is the next one. How cool would it be to have your members tap and easily leave you a Google review? This one is super popular with our EFC members. If you've gone to leave a Google review before, you have to have a Google account, you have to log in. It's quite tiresome and painful. This makes it much quicker, and therefore people are much more likely to leave you reviews. Hopefully you've coached them to give you positive reviews. Having all of these resources in one place really reduces the friction of trying to find information, and it keeps all your members connected. Number 6 is payments. Now, this is the lifeblood of your business. As much as we'd all love to work for free, we have to feed ourselves and our staff, and we have to get good equipment and keep our members safe. So we need to get paid. Having payments available on the app means the member can keep track of their payments. I don't know about you, but if I'm constantly logging into my bank account to see if I can afford something or not, I need to know at a glance how much money I've got and how much I owe so I can make a buying decision. Being transparent about the fees gives our members more control over their budget, and that means they're more likely to be able to manage their funds to keep your payments for your school up to date. So they should be able to see their upcoming payment schedule, what their payment history was, and importantly, any overdue payments. And they should be easily able to pay those overdue payments straight onto the app, just like we do in the EFC app. Now, as a bonus feature, and I know quite a few of you who are EFC members, you may not know this yet, in the EFC app, because we're focused on helping your members manage their payments easily, we also have a live chat function where students can immediately connect with our team to help with any questions regarding payments. So you can see it there on the screen. It's not a bot, it's a real human. It's one of the team that you work with all the time in EFC. They can talk to this person at the touch of a button through chat. And since we've introduced this, we have had incredible feedback. We started this in January. So it's been going for 3 months now. And students love this service. We've got in all of the chats that we've had, we have a feedback system. We have happy, neutral, unhappy. We've had one neutral, and that was from somebody who didn't actually want to pay their bill. But the students overwhelmingly love the ease and convenience of talking to somebody. So that's a really good way to, if you're an EFC member and you're using the app, make sure you direct your students to understand they can chat with the accounts team straight through the app there. The final one, number 7, a great app is going to make it easy for your members to refer family and friends. So picture this, you're a student, right? You've been training at a school for a little while, you're having coffee with friends, and your friend says to you, hey, you still training at, that karate school? And you're like, yeah, it's great. And they're like, I've been thinking about trying it out. Now, a lot of those conversations end there, right? What if it went like this? Yeah, I've been thinking about trying it out. Oh, cool. I can send you an invite from the app right now. And then that person sends an invite to put their contact details into the app. And once the friend completes the form, bang, they're added to the leads. And if you're an ESC member, it drops straight into your leads. And the system will also track who referred them for you, which is perfect for those referral programs. A fabulous growth tool. So those are the 7 key features. Take a screenshot of this, because if you're not using all of them or you're not an EFC member, this is what you should be looking for your app. These are the ones that we recommend you have as a minimum to retain your members and to grow your business using an app. If you're an EFC member and you're not using the app, we will set it up for you so it happens automatically every time a new member enrolls with your school. Just say app in the chat right now, and we will take note of that and get you started. And we will step you through every process. It's super simple when you have the team do all the work for you. If you're an ESC member and you have the app and you're not using all 7 of these features, just put the number 7 in the chat and we will get the rest of them set up with you. There are no fees, no charges, everything included in your EFC membership. It's part of the support that we offer, and we will work one-to-one with you to make that work. No matter how poor you are technology-wise, we will help you with that. So don't feel like technology is your enemy. We will walk you through it. If you're not an EFC member and you want to talk to us about becoming an EFC member, just pop the word call in the chat and we will book a one-to-one call to see if we are a good fit for your business. Before we go into Q&A, I would like to end this part by reinforcing the importance of retention for all businesses. And Brian Balfour, the VP of Growth at HubSpot, sums this up beautifully. He says, if you have poor retention, nothing else matters. So if you are not using an app to retain your members, ask yourself this. What's it costing your business?